Hey guys, welcome back to the Stash Project where we are whitewashing the walls. So I figured it will be amusing to start this way. This is further uh, water sealing. You can basically see right about where the line, bring a pen in here, right about where the line is, where the old water, the place where there's two coats of water sealing and one coat starts. So from here off the camera range, about another 6, 8 feet, we have water sealed some more. When I get this video done, I'm going to put the second coat of water sealant on that wall, and this back here, this is a shadow from some. There should be shelves right here, guys. Remember those shelves here? Well, they're now around the corner over here. So that's just a shadow from the shelves projecting from the light in the next section of the basement. But yeah, so we're gonna put another coat of water sealant over here in this general vicinity. I'm really bad at this. There we go. In this general vicinity over here, and then once that dries tomorrow, we're gonna paint the walls. So we'll now lose this dinge up here at the top, where it's old white green walls. I got some nice satin white paint. We're gonna paint the walls. And we're gonna paint it into this corner over here, and then when this is all dried out, hopefully it'll only take one coat because the walls are now already white as it is. We're gonna take the shelves and put them back. The shelf that's right, the shelf that would be right here is the one that has all the police car stuff on it, and the Ferrari's on top. That'll go back as is. The one that was next to it, which I don't think has ever been on camera really, which has my Mazdas, my sort of my orphan kits and some orphan Japanese kits. We'll go back here, and then on top of that, there was a whole bunch of race cars. That is going to be the race cars have been relocated to a temporary storage facility, and not storage. I just mean they've been moved someplace else in my basement. And I'm going to put my Lamborghinis on top of that shelf, and then I will have my Ferraris and my Lamborghinis competing for my attention at eye level. And the race cars will go someplace else. I bought two more sets of shelves, so the race cars will probably get their own independent shelving system that is not being shared with vile, regular cars. And I got shelves with a whole bunch more stuff. There's more to explain as time goes on, but yeah, we're gonna try to get this whole thing painted for the weekend, and that'll let us get the shelves back and put the desk, one of the desks in the corner, and then we'll go this way. Don't mind the mess, guys. It's just stuff everywhere. Over here, this is of course our new window, and there's some Flex Seal stuff put in there. And then the waterproofing will go over that way, and we'll paint that rest of that wall, and then we can start putting the stuff for the airbrush together. So, making some progress. Figured you'd enjoy that. Now, we actually have some kits to talk about, so let's spin the camera back around to reality, shall we?
All right, so back on camera. This right here will be your police car shelf. right here, here. There we go. This right here will be your police car shelf. Nothing on top right now because all that stuff had to get moved. Everything else I just left on the shelf and just picked it up and moved it. Yeah, so it's exciting. The reason this had to get moved, other than painting the wall, is the fact that was sitting on the crack on the floor that leached all the water up through it. So now you can't see it because I'm not gonna pan the camera down there because it's not that interesting. But about 2/3 of that crack has now been epoxy sealed with some cement sealant. I've got to come this way with it, and I've got to get this stuff out of the way so that I can move some stuff over here. There's lots of random reshuffling. You find out how little space you have when you try to pick it all up and move it out of the way. But what we got here is a bunch more stuff. I told you guys in the last video there was another box of things, so let's get cracking on that so I can get some water sealing done and go to bed. Picked up off of eBay another one of the Good Small Racing kits. Yeah, so I'm just committed to buying them all now, just so you know. And in 2012, the Good Small Racing people, they ran 2 cars that year. Only one time. It was the only time in their history they ran 2 different race teams. This is the Project Mirai things. There's at least 3 kits from 2012. There might actually be 4. And the Project Mirai thing is a Sega Genesis game, or not Sega Genesis, but a Sega PlayStation game. We never got this game in the United States for probably obvious reasons, because, you know, we're not young teen pop stars. But this was a popular game in Japan, obviously. It was so popular that it sponsored a race car. And it's a really cool car as far as the graphics goes, at least as far as I'm concerned. It's not nearly as complex a graphic scheme as some of the other Good Small Racing cars are. You paint this car partially white and then partially black, although this whole black part on the front end is actually carbon fiber. So yeah, when I get around to this, I'm going to carbon fiber the front end. But this will give you a little idea what the graphics look like, if it'll focus on it. Come on, camera. I don't know. Why will I have great focus of my hand, a great focus of my club hat, but not so much great focus of this of this thing. But there we go. So there you get the general gist. Anyway, what's really cool about this, at least to me, is this sort of chalk graffiti that's on the hood. This is broken up into like 3 or 4 pieces of decal, and it's just a cool thing. Like I say, got a great big Sega logo up here. Actually, this would have been a Sega Genesis game, right? Or Sega Dreamcast, maybe? I don't know why I said PlayStation, but yeah. I'm guessing Dreamcast. Did Sega even have a gaming platform in 2012? Patrick, you're the video game nerd. Did Sega have a video game platform then? I don't remember what it would be. I think it would be the Dreamcast. Obviously not the PlayStation. That's a Sony product. Also off eBay, I picked this up because it was one of the very few of the JGTC GTRs I don't have. This is actually the last of the factory R33s. As far as kits I don't have. Decals look decent, not fantastic. Push comes to shove, I'll mask the fluorescent red off and hope the rest of it works. If not, there are decals for this car, not for this year, but they'll make up the great big decals of the Unis eject stuff. This kit turns out to be really the one you need when it comes to making all the aftermarket kits, because most of the aftermarket decals need this set of wheels, and this kit is molded in white. The Calsonic one is still in production. You can still buy them anywhere. They have a BBS style wheel. I don't think actually it's a BBS wheel, but it's a BBS style wheel. It's a mesh wheel, and not a lot of the aftermarket decal things use that wheel. Also, the Cure one, the number 665, 666 car, it's molded in black. It has these wheels, but it's molded in black. So, some point I might get another one of these and see what I do about resin casting the wheels, because I need more of these wheels. And really, there's not a whole lot of difference between this kit itself and the Calsonic one, other than the fact the Calsonic one is molded in blue, and it has the wrong wheels for a lot of the projects. This is something I picked up here locally. It's still an import kit, but it's local. This would be the Revell of Germany, Mercedes AMG GT street car. Not the race car, but the race car is coming. So, I think pretty much everybody knows what this is. Tom Reuter built one. I hope that's how you pronounce Tom's last name. But Tom built one of the Scale Modeling channel. So, you know, if you really want to see what this is going to look like, go look over there, because it's going to be a while. I got gonna get at least 1, maybe 2 more of these, because I have the wrong set of shelves. I was gonna grab it, but it's not on the shelf; it's on the other one. I have that C1 trans kit, and then the guys over at Ukrainian Scale Car Production, they're doing that Mansory GTS. So I may grab one of those as well, which will require another one of these. So, yeah, many much AMG GTs, believe me, will be coming shortly. Let's see here. A couple last things off of eBay. I don't need to show you both because they're identical, but you'll get the gist here. I need to grab something else off that shelf up there. But this is the Ferrari 430 Challenge GT kit. I need to watch my own programs. I bought this kit, and this kit exists primarily because of that anime car that I showed you in the last video. This is just a blank version of that. And the anime car and this car added this GT wing on the back here. So this is what you need for like the Le Mans car and the GT3 car. Well, Fujimi, if you've watched our show, has repackaged the Ferrari Challenge about a year and a half, 2 years ago now, with window masks. The thing is, they don't show the wing on the box. And if you know your Fujimi, these 430 Challenge cars, historically, Fujimi did not have a wing in them originally. The original 430 Challenge is blank, and then there's like 5 cars that were done up for the actual Ferrari Challenge series. They didn't run the wing in the Challenge series. They were wingless. So they made the anime GT300 series car, and then they sold it blank for obviously aftermarket decal purposes. And so I searched around. Well, Hobby Search is out of stock. Hobby Link Japan says it's discontinued. I found these for a good price on eBay. All right, cool, good deal. After I received these, they then became available on Hobby Link Japan again, which meant I paid a little bit too much. These kits are 3,600 yen sticker, so I think I paid 28 bucks a piece for them. Like I said, it's a good enough deal, but the ones with the reissue have the wing, as it turns out, and they're like 14 bucks. So for what I paid for these 2 kits plus the shipping, I could have got 3 of the other ones. Live and learn, right? I guess. I got something on the shelf over here that is in this. It was in this distribution of kits here. Then we went to Baiyi, and this Baiyi box was 2 of those Super GT guides that I showed you in the last video, and then 3 of these 2008 Tamiya Super GT R35 GTR kits. I got 2 of these Ignavi ones and this Calsonic one. That's just the way they came packaged. The kits themselves are not important because I already have the kits. What is important is the fact that they came with sets of decals. This one has the 2008 Yellow Hat Hasami Motorsports decals. This is for the Suzuka and the Fuji race. I believe there's a whole nother decal sheet for basically what was the rest of the year. These are entire decals. It's not like the thing supplements one or the other. This just happens to be these 2 races designs. This is people may recognize the yellow car. We showed you the decals for the 2010 350Z they ran in GT300. This is the GT500, the top tier team. This is one of the sets of decals. I'm going to leave decals out because I don't need to go back in those boxes anyway. And then, let me see if I can find it. Am I going to get... Survey says I am going to pick the wrong box. In the other Ignavi box is the ones I want. These are the 2008 Clarion Woodwind decals. Now it shows a weird wheel on the back of here. This is just sort of a line drawing wheel they put on all their GTRs. The actual car itself used the Ignavi wheels. But with these 2 cars, right, and then the Calsonic car, and the fact that the Ignavi car builds 2 different cars, remember it builds the Ignavi one or the modal car, that is all 5 of the 2008 GTRs. It's a nice, simple, easy, well, easy within the sense that this is a 2-tone, but easy set of Super GT kits to build out. They require no modifications to the body, because 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, for which there are other GTR decals, the car had modifications done to it. There were 5, like I said, 5 2008 GTRs, 2 sets of aftermarket decals, Shazam, 3 of the factory stock Tamiya kits, and you got them all. The only thing that is a hiccup if you wanted to build these, other than the fact that these two sets of decals are out of production, good luck finding them. It took me years. Is the fact that the Yellow Hat car runs a different set of wheels. It's like an Enki set of wheels. Now, they were made by a company called A Plus Club. A Plus Club still exists, the company, but the wheels are out of production. They're a company out of South Korea, and I managed to, through I think it was B&A World on eBay, find the last possible set known to man of these Enki wheels that they did. They're resin. And huzzah! I mean, that was one of the biggest things, was trying to find the wheels for this, for these decals, because they are like I said, the one car out of the 5 that didn't use wheels that come with one or the other of the Tamiya kits, because technically the Tamiya kits have different wheels. The Calsonic one has Nismo 5 spokes, and this one has these meshy Impol wheels. So, be that as it may, I got them all done. So, like I said, this one we didn't show you yet. This one has the 2010. Whoops, I got parts of the kit there. 2010 HIS Advan woodwind car. So this is the same basic color scheme and as whatnot, and with the 2010 decals. Now, like I said, this 2010 body requires a bunch of modifications to the actual kit itself. There's a couple of little differences in the front splitter area. There's big differences in the side intake and exhaust area, and then there's some differences in the back. But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. And then the rest of the stuff is a HobbyLink Japan box. So let's take a look at what we got here. First up was the modified retool, and I know this is how old this video is in getting done. And this is the Lamborghini Diablo GTR. This is the racing version of the Lamborghini Diablo GT kit that came out at the end of last year. This is a new body tool, even though you wouldn't think it would be, but it is a brand new body tool to tool in things like the hood pins, the pins for the quick disconnect pins for the tail, the fuel intake, and the different wing mounts. Obviously, it has a racing interior. It'd be interesting to see if anybody does any decal sets for this, because this did run in its own Diablo GTR Challenge type series, where it was a single make series. And there were 40 of the chassis built and 20 actual cars built. The chassis obviously were there to rebuild destroyed race cars. A couple of these cars got out and ran like the 24 Hours of Spa, and one of them or two of them ended up in Australia and actually won the Australia Touring Championship Series. I think it was 2004, 2005, or 2003, 2004. It's the Donut King car. If you search Lamborghini Diablo GTRs, you'll immediately find the Donut King liveried car. That's the Australia one, and like I said, it was a championship car. So it'd be interesting to see if Aoshima does any actual liveried versions like they did with the Murcielago race car and with the McLaren. You recall both of those cars came out in presentation first and then came out liveried, or if there's going to be aftermarket decal support for it. Otherwise, it's kind of a pointless kit because none of these came back out as street cars. They were all race cars. If you wanted a street version of this, you bought the GT. Also in this box from HobbyLink Japan is the updated 2015 Toyota Crown Athlete kit. This has the new front fascia on it. That has the new bumper, new fog light intakes, new grille, new headlights, and etc. Just basically about 12 or 15 new parts to that to update it to 2015 spec. The first, because there's going to be, remember, there's another one of these coming out this month, the Castrol livery. This is the Jax JTCC Civic, the 4-door. So this was the reissue of that. Again, like I said, how old does this video need to be done? But so this is the kit, the first of the two value-destroying kits that Hasegawa is doing as far as reissuing the 4-door Civic race cars. I got two of those, one to do with factory decals, and then I was told there was another set of aftermarket coming. We'll see whether it shows up or not. We've got this, which is the Aberth Essence Fiat 500. This is the kit you need, especially because of the wheel differences, to do the Studio 27 Italian police car decals they did. It was just a presentation car. It wasn't actually used for anything as far as a police vehicle, so it doesn't have any lights or anything like that. It's just painted the dark blue that all of the federal Italian police vehicles are. But like I said, there's an Aberth kit that they did that does not have the correct wheels. These wheels are in this kit. I know it's a dicey thing. You're talking about a Fujimi kit's box art, but it does have these wheels, and these are the wheels you need for that police car kit. Then we've got this, which is upside down, but this is the Lamborghini Gallardo, just the original Fujimi kit of this, because Fujimi ended up doing like 6 of them. And I showed you in the last video, I have the SE, which is a slightly later version than this. But this has the right wheels in it, and it's also the right color, because it's molded in yellow, for the London Metropolitan police vehicle that Studio 27 did the decals for. So that's what this is for. And then last but not least in this box, and this will be the last kit on this video, so this is, like I said, mercilessly short compared to the last one, and this is the Hasegawa Wild Egg Girls Claire Frost Kuba Wagon Type 82. Now, some people will point out that this has the high float sand tires rather than the sort of off-road street tires. This is like an Africa Core type of Kuba wagon as opposed to a Western Eastern front type of deal. Claire Frost is really, really puzzled. She has absolutely no idea why she did not bring, pants or a shirt or more than just a box wrench to try to fix this old Volkswagen. She is equally as puzzled in her actual figurine inside. And aside from the Wild Egg Girl plain thing here, there are actual real decals in here. This still has the German figures inside of it as well, which, much like the Jeep, is amusing in the sense that it'd be fun to just stick her in the driver's seat and have the German riding along, completely and totally shocked. You see that the actual, I don't think I took the Jeep one out, the actual figure is not that big. It's, about 2 inches tall, more or less. And let me fish these decals off the bottom here. So you have the Claire Frost decals up here on top, and on the bottom you have some Africa Core type of military markings. So you have the option to build it as a military kit without dealing with Miss Frost and her resin figure. And tires are rubber. I was always concerned sometimes with a military kit as far as getting like a plastic tire rather than a rubber one. But other than that, I mean, like I said, it's let's see if I can find the actual. That's showing me how to build Claire Frost car. Down here, you've got the instructions on how to build the Africa Core Greece 1943 car. So you can build it as a Nazi wagon as opposed to just a crazy egg girl plain summer wagon. I build it because I'm going to just do it as a Kuba wagon. It's a full detail kit, comes with an engine and everything. Obviously, that's why the back end of it's open. So, just a cool subject matter. Be like I got the Asuka Bantam, and I've got the other one, the Willys Jeep they did for the other Wild Egg Girl plane thing. And all 3 of those kits are going to sort of be after-war, privately owned vehicles. So, anyway, guys, I believe that wraps it up for this one, and that catches us up, I believe, with everything. There, of course, is a massive amount of stuff sitting in Japan, but that stuff doesn't have to ship for a month. And trying to catch as much of the summer releases as I can before shipping it. And I have some stuff over at Bai, but almost all of that is the Super GT guides that I was telling you about from 2010 through 2015 and from 2004, 2005. A couple of kits, but nothing major. And yeah, so I guess that's about it. So anyway, back to painting walls, and we'll see you guys on the other side.